even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? In reply, how you put up with this song and dance, all this buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Detroit Lions. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Man, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Second down, it's Jones. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Those shoulders went from parallel to square, and then he brought force with him to finish that run. Oh, that's impressive.
And we saw a lot of that a week ago when he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award. Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. The give is to Jones. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
We got 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. Able to power through. Still going. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now a first down carry by Jones. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 319. 319.
He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
They'll pitch it out to Jones. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. He was brought down by Devon Kennard. Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. A dump underneath to Jones. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
It's caught. Jones. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually... First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Now Jones, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Right back to him on first down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. He completes it to Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
I'm going to hit you all day, baby.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll set up a throw. Looking for Burns, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball, and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out there.
Exactly.
But the 9 picks,
9 picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And they try to sweep to Jones. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. He'll drop to throw. Throw for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. The tackle there by Eli Harold.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
Watch him now, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Shedding the tackle. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Being chased out left. Looking deep for Demarius. This is caught. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? But after that touchdown, we are just a PAT away from a tie game, and I know everyone's going to look at it and go, guess what? Tie game, all even, They just scored. If they kick this extra point and tie it, they're going to feel like they're the ones that are in control.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here again is McKinnon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Jones. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Now they'll toss to Jones running left. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now running right through him. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Jones, and he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. This is Jones, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. It's caught right side. It turns. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So here come the Lions now. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now.
Here we go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Toss play to McKinnon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. Back now at Ford Field. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. McKinnon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more on that one and another first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And a solid run down inside the 30. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On the ball, on the ball.
Here's McKinnon. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run once more with McKinnon. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They run it with McKinnon. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And Lutz puts this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Over.
Now the toss to Jones, running right. And some space here. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Detroit! Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Bucs on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Jones. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And Forbath will put this one through, and that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
Omaha, ready, move. Check. 21.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So that'll back them up 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now.
21.
Now it's Stafford. Steps away to his left. Throwing deep for Galladay. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
56.
Back to throw here. This is caught by Williams. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. Got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. And that's going to be incomplete. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Double, set.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. The left side completion to Jones. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
21. We got three, fellas.
2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done. Now part 2.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Over.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Maurice Alexander making the stop defensively.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll go again to Jones. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The Bucs on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Gun.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll run it with Jones. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT.
56. Over.
Now Jones. Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.